So, all right, well, let's just do what we have and then see if it makes sense. And if not, then...
Hey, is this... Now I confess. Is this the typing you were hearing?
I hear that. What is that?
It's my Rubik's Cube that I play with.
Gavin fucking Lodge. I knew it. I knew there was something happening off camera. What the fuck?
And this is Gatriarchs.
So listen to this fucked up shit. I was literally just upstairs.
Just now.
With my husband. And my husband was like, guess what? I was like, what? He said, we got a letter from the town about our grass.
That is some Stepford shit right there.
So listen, I am not great about cutting the grass. I try to cut it once every 2 weeks, but inevitably, listen, I'm a really big time podcaster now, so my time is limited.
Right.
But I was literally planning on cutting it today. And they like stuck a letter through our mail slot, and it basically says, your grass is higher than 12 inches. Number one, which is a lie. There is
a foot.
There is a weed that is taller than the rest of it is just like a little overgrown grass.
Yeah.
Anyway, how fucked up is that? I feel very attacked.
You should feel like, superficially speaking, you have been very attacked. Also, do they realize that your son just goes out there and pisses in the grass all the time?
There's so much piss in that grass.
I mean, you don't even have dogs, but you have pee stains just from your child out in front in your foot-tall grass.
If we had gotten a cease and desist letter for your 3-year-old pissing in the front yard, I would have been like, you know what? You're right.
You're
totally.
so right.
Yeah.
You're so right. Like, we live in a civilized society now. We don't let our children go out and do that. But also, before you cut it, which I imagine you're about to skedaddle right now and get out there and cut it, take a picture of the kid pissing in the grass. Because I want to see like his little butt cheeks from the back standing in grass that is literally as high as an elephant's eye before you cut it, because that's going to make some great photography.
It is. There. I will take actually a picture, and whenever we have our show notes, which will never exist, I will post a picture. I will post a picture of the grass. It is not overgrown. It needs to be cut. But you're thinking of like if you laid in the grass, you would disappear. I'm telling you, it's like maybe.
Do you think this is a hate crime? They're like, how are we going to go get those gays?
Maybe
we're going to get them. We're going to get them at their manicured lawn, which you are not representing the stereotype here. Thanks a lot, David, for screwing it up for the rest of us. Is this your gay agenda?
I know, that is totally my gay agenda. The other thing that I want to complain about before we talk about real things is, so we are very fortunate. We have been reviewed very well by the powers that be in the internet. We have a lot of really nice 5-star reviews from our listeners. Thank you so much. That shit actually matters. For those of you who don't understand how all of that works, like we as a podcast really struggle to get in front of people other than the obvious, like you sharing our links, which is very helpful. The way the algorithm works is that
it's a crowded world out there.
Yeah,
of
when you
a lot
feed
of
it reviews and feed it likes and all that kind of stuff, it starts to kind of come to the surface. Anyway, we've gotten a lot of really great ones. We did get one 4-star, and their review was basically like, love the show, everything is great. However, Gavin and
your
David
grass is too high.
Yeah, exactly. They said Gavin and David talk too fast. Why do you have to talk too fast? So number one, I get it. I am a fast talker. I garble my words. I'm not meant to be in the performing arts, even though this has been my entire life. However, I think I figured out why the other day. So I was watching the one of my favorite podcasts is Smartless, and they have a documentary on TV, and I was watching it, and I kept feeling, I was like, why are they speaking so slow? I kept thinking, are they drunk? Are they high? Like, what is going on like in my brain? And then I realized I listen to podcasts at 1.25 speed. And I have gotten used to all of the podcasts I listen to, which inspired this one. Smartless, Savage Love, Script Notes. These are all like Radiolab. These are all of my favorite podcasts, but I have been listening to them at 1.25 speed.
Did you
for
know?
Years.
Did you know you were listening to 1.25
Yeah, no,
speed?
I do it because like,
you move it along.
I was like, let's move it on.
Yeah.
So I think what I realized was in my head, that's what these podcasts sound like. And that's the kind of vocal gait I need to be taking. And then I realized, oh no, David, you're just misinformed because you're listening to it too fast. So to the person who reviewed us by speaking too fast, you're probably right. And apologies, and I will not change my behavior.
That right. We are no apologies, I would actually say, and we're not going to change it. Although I have to say, I mean, we've talked about how we have podcast voices. I know I have a podcast voice, and by podcast voice, I don't mean an NPR voice. I mean, this is not how I sound when I talk normally. I admit it's a little.
Yeah, he sounds kind of like this.
It.
Hi, I'm Gavin, and I'm stupid. That's what he sounds like normally.
That is literally
that was very accurate.
Of all the stupid shit you've said about me, was absolutely the stupidest. But anyway, I definitely have a different. I can't help it. You know,
it's
we all
heightened.
talk.
No, it's heightened. It's performative.
You talk higher.
Yeah,
you talk faster. But also, I would say that I screw up my words all the time. Probably because I'm trying to talk too quickly and keep up with you.
Yeah,
frankly.
I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I need to enunciate my words. However, it is really good for our cold opens because the majority of our cold opens are you or I tripping over words and fucking everything up. So, yeah.
And that is the essence of Gatriarchs. So, a little topic that I was going to bring up is sex. And
I'm unfamiliar.
And that people, it is hilarious to me. And this is a mostly generational thing, but let's face it, we live in a prudish, conventional, puritanical society where everything is missionary position between a man and a woman, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just having a conversation actually yesterday, August 8th, 2023. Yesterday was August 8th.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yes.
I'm kidding about the date, but it was just yesterday from the time that we're recording this right now that it was somebody who I know that they were totally gay friendly. There wasn't anything homophobic about it, but he did say, "Oh, so you have kids. So you must have been married to a woman before." And I'm like, what is this? 1998? Okay. Mm-hmm. And I said, no.
Isn't that when Titanic came out? Anyway.
No, come on. Titanic was 94.
No. I'm going to look it up
yeah.
right now. Hold on.
Okay. Well, anyway, and he was like, so you had kids
97. Boom.
You had kids yourself, just like Jack and what's her name from Rose, just like Jack and Rose. I'm like, no, it wasn't exactly like Jack and Rose. We did surrogacy. And he's like, oh, how did that? Never mind. I don't need to know about that. And he had a look on his face like he just smelled vinegar, like he didn't want to know about penises creating babies. And I thought, wow, are we that prudish? There have been other times, and it's mostly generational, let's be honest, where people just don't want to think about other people naked, you know, or
but
they
I
don't.
Think that's performative. I think that's like I feel like there's this all straight guy mentality about I'm not gonna fucking touch that. That's fucking gay. Blah blah. Mm-hmm. It's like stop it. You know that's not true. Yeah. That is performative, so everyone knows how fucking straight you are. Yeah, the whole like I don't want to know. First of all, fuck you. I got to hear about your stupid.
Because I know how
shit.
you did it. Yep.
Yeah, I know how you did. I had to watch Titanic. I had to watch her little hand slap the side of that car. I know what was going on in the car. You forced that shit on me. But it's all so stupid. Like. Listen, I did it too. I will be honest. Like when I came out of the closet, I was 20 years old. I was in college and I flew out of that closet and I put on this like, ew, vaginas are gross. Girls, gross. I'm so gay. I'm so anti that. And it was just armor. I was trying to like rectify all of the pretending I had done for so long.
For 20 years.
And fight the other side. So I am for sure. Listen, we at Gatriarchs, we are hypocrites. So totally. I am a fucking hypocrite about
nothing
this.
else.
But like, let's all stop it, right? Like, we're all done with this. Vaginas aren't gross. Penises aren't gross. Butts aren't gross. Mm-hmm. The only thing gross is what, Gavin? What's funny? Be funny. Go.
Oh God, I'm the tall one. The only things that are gross are, and now I can only think about buttholes. That's all I can think of. And I don't even think they're gross.
That's going to be your epitaph. I can only think about buttholes. Gavin Lodge. 2023.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't make this guy feel uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, well, there was like, we should.
I think we got to go the other way. I think when somebody is performatively grossed out by gay sex, we need to go into graphic detail about how that works.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean,
And
there's
I
definitely
actually am unaware. Do you know? I don't know how that works.
there's a book that I might actually recommend right now that's being banned and moved around in libraries all over the place called "Let's Talk About It: The Teen's Guide to Sex Relationships and Being a Human."
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it and put that right in front of these people who say, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Oh, come on.
Well, Gavin, why don't we talk about this week's top 3 list?
Speaking of things that make you go, ew, disgusting foods you have eaten that make you realize you're a dad now. You are a dad. So for number 3 for me was eating toast off the floor that my kid had thrown. And I was so pissed that they had thrown the toast on the floor and it landed butter side down. But I picked that up to make a point and looked right in her little 1-year-old face and took a bite of it and ate the entire thing. Mm-hmm. There was definitely dog hair on it. Number 2, mashed bananas. Maybe you're a texture person too. I'm a texture person. Mm-hmm. And mashed bananas, a banana that's even vaguely overripe, I can't do it. Absolutely. But I had to show my kids that eating bananas and eating mashed things was indeed what you're going to fucking do. So I will do it and demonstrate it and gag, but hide my gag reflex. But number 1 was the time when my kids were in preschool or kindergarten. And I picked up a lunchbox and I said, "Hey, why didn't you eat your lunch yesterday?" And they said, "'Cause it was mushy." And I picked it up. I think it was literally salmon. It was smoked salmon and cream cheese that was a day old. And I looked at it and was like, "It's not mushy." And I ate it. And I thought, I just took a bite of my kid's leftover fish sandwich from the day before. Oh, well. And I just ate it. And it wasn't.
And you lost so much weight, you've never been skinnier. You threw up for weeks, and you're like, I look amazing.
That was my number 1. What about you? What disgusting things that you've eaten that make you realize, oh God, I'm a dad?
Mine are mostly categorical, but
okay,
so and number 3, teething crackers.
Gross.
I will pop a teething cracker in my mouth as a snack if there's one left over on the counter and I'm kind of hungry. And I never thought I would be eating a teething cracker, but there you go. Yep. Number 2, this is a little bit of crossover for us, floor stuff. Stuff on the floor. I will just grab something off the floor and eat it. No, just I'm hungry and I don't have time to eat.
Or not even hungry.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. I mean, just true. Whatever.
And number 1, I am ashamed, but I have for sure done this. Scraping like food out of the corner of your kid's mouth and then eating like an oatmeal mouth, and you kind of scrape it off and just kind of pop it into your mouth. So yeah, listen, I'm not proud of it, but I like to be honest here on the show. So.
I'm feeling a gag reflex right now. I really am.
So next week, I want to talk about the top 3 things that you miss now that you're a parent.
That many things are already coming to mind. Let's hurry up and get to next week. Our guest this week is the Chief Program Officer of the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Community Center of New York, which is most commonly known as the Center. It is the center of so much history and community and culture. It's an honor to have him here. He has been a leader in nonprofit management for the past 20 years, though you would not know that looking at that fantastic lighting right now. He's a father of 6-year-old twins. And honey, can he tell us about meddlesome helicopter parents? A big Gaytriarch's welcome to Daniel Reyes. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Daniel, can you tell us a horror story of your own parenting journey?
We love them here.
We love it.
See.
The messier, the better.
The messier. That's what we're doing.
Let's see. I think one of the worst was Christmas Eve. The boys were about 1 and sick. So
of course, ruining holidays.
Exactly. So we're all dressed up, looking cute, and one, I was just holding him, and next thing I know, there's projectile vomit all over me. So and then the other one went. So it's just like, oh dear.
Oh, they were tag teaming, barfing
synchronized,
you.
Yes.
And what were you doing at the time? Were you trying to take like fancy Christmas pictures or something? Or?
I was literally just picking them up, and we were trying to pose for pictures, basically.
Okay.
And I had one, and then I had the other, and then the one went, and then the other went, and well, we did our family Christmas photos in T-shirts.
Oh shoot! But you didn't get a barfed on picture, unfortunately.
Oh, that's what you needed is a barf picture. You need that like real window into parenting.
No.
God, especially two. Oh my! I cannot imagine because there's no way to keep them separated. I have two kids, but they're 3 and 1, so it's like. You can kind of try, but they always get sick together. So with twins, though, they're for sure going to get sick together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they, the worst is when they like have synchronized poops. They need to poop at the same time. And I'm just like...
Is that like a new Olympic event that we should be aware of?
It is, yeah. And they're both at the same time. Papa, I'm done. I'm like, oh my God, I'm running from bathroom to bathroom. So...
I mean, that tracks for sure with having twins. That is another level for sure. And you were aiming for twins? Was that the plan?
We were not aiming for twins.
Oh. Well, on that topic, will you tell us about your parenting journey? Especially as gay people, we all have a unique path to parenthood. Can you tell us about yours?
Yes. So it's basically 2 moms and myself, and we. So the way it happened was the gestational mother is best friends with somebody that I went to grade school with, and we all had reconnected through Facebook. The classmate, and we went to like this small private Catholic school. It was like very, very small in the city of Chicago. And like, it turned out that like 5 of us were queer. And we had reconnected on Facebook, of course, Catholic churches.
To commiserate and talk about your trauma. Uh-huh.
Exactly. And so the friend came from Chicago to visit, and this was years ago. And apparently the gestational mother was there. And so I don't remember that. And fast forward to a few years ago, and she reached out to me on Facebook and said, "Oh, do you remember so-and-so? You met her, and well, she's married now, and she's trying to have kids, and they really feel like they need to know the father. And so basically I thought of you." And she was like, you're attractive, you're successful. What do you think? And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you so much."
Thank you for the compliment.
Yes. Hair flip. You said all the right things.
Yes. And so then we really set about getting to know each other, and we did a little bit of courting, and then we decided to try together. We said, "Okay, let's do this."
Wait, so she wanted to have. She was basically looking for a sperm donor-ish, but that she wanted to have an existing relationship with. So she was inviting you to be the sperm donor or to be a co-parent?
She was inviting me to be the role that I wanted to be. And so we had spent almost a year talking about it, and like what would my role be? How often would I see the kids? What would they know me as? What role would my family play? So we had talked through all of this. And then she got pregnant, and we did IVF. So they put 2 in, and then 2 were going to come out.
Came out.
Yeah. But the pregnancy was so difficult, and she was in and out of the hospital. And I'm like ever the cheerleader. It's okay. We'll be good. Everything's going to be fine. And I think the boys were born at 26 weeks, and it was just challenging. Wow. And basically all of our plans went out the window. And all of a sudden, the 3 of us really kind of bonded and started to be 3 parents instead of...
A unit.
Yeah,
a parental unit.
Yeah, and we really just kind of like fell into this big queer family. And so I'm in the boys' life, and I see them all the time. I've lived in the house with the boys for like 2 years, and we were like, I felt like maybe we're being a little bit hippie-like, but...
a little commune-like. Well,
yes.
I mean... Hey, tribal living is what all of humanity had until about, 1500. But before, I mean, it didn't just come down to a heteronormative man and woman raising a kid. It really does take a village. And so I bet it had its challenges, but it had its benefits.
It did, actually. I think what we learned to find is the path where we have our own parenting approaches amongst the 3 of us, and we respect those approaches. I think we're all aligned in many ways, so it just differs in slight variations. So we don't really, it's never really become an issue. I think we've had like maybe 1 conversation, like years ago. But I think that was really it. But the boys were so fragile. Their health was so precarious that like a cold would put them in the hospital. And so, I think we really struggled. And even now, as we have twins, it's like 3 grown-ass adults, and we still struggle, So,
so wait, what do they call you?
Papa.
Okay. And so you guys are just kind of a 3-person family,
yeah.
right? Like,
yeah. We we show up at the school together, with the school, everyone knows there's 2 mommies and a daddy, and, and they're, they're like, oh, Papa's here, because that's what the kids call me. So they're like, oh, Papa's here to pick up the kids. So...
I mean, there are elements of this being a sitcom, and I'm not sure, or is it a drama? I mean, and the idea that you had a sit down conversation about what is our parenting approach, and I'm thinking, was it screaming going on, or was it incredibly professional and methodical?
I think it was methodical because one's a therapist, the other one's a nurse, and I'm, executive management. So I'm just like, we all. So
there's no actors who are feeling emotional about things. So that's
no. I will tell you, it took me a minute to kind of understand the communication between the moms and the communication. Yeah. Like I would be in the house and there would be 10 lesbians and me, and I'm like. Not picking up on the cues because I'm a little bit dense. And then later on, they were debriefing, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And I was like, wow, no, I did not hear that. But interesting.
And I mean, there's so many cliches to be, jokes to be made, frankly. But I know that they're just based on cliches and superficialities. But a gay man with 2 lesbians, there's a lot of fodder for comedy there. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't get over in my head a room full of lesbians. What is a group of lesbians called?
Right. A flock, a murder.
Yeah, like a koozie. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
a jigsaw. I don't know.
I mean, I would never realize until someone pointed out to me, you're the only man other than the boys in the house. And I was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So, it took some adapting, but now I don't even think about it. So.
Well, I want to talk lots more about parenting, but we're also so privileged to have you here because you play a leadership role at the center, which is so obviously amazing. Can you give us a sense of, the center was founded in large part to give support to community, especially at the height of the AIDS crisis. And now, how has the center shifted just in the last couple of years that you've been there?
Yeah, so I really think that the center has... really take an approach of thinking about where are we at as community and where is, kind of working through the pandemic, it really kind of upended everything. And so that really gave us the opportunity to understand what our new reality would be and how we would actively engage in community. And so the center has really been very intentional about thinking about the way we create events and the way we think about what areas of the community that we want to amplify and how we want to think beyond the walls of the center. I think often the center, because it had established 40 years ago, that it was very much the building itself was the kind of the jewel, and we really kind of expected people to come to us. And so, when the pandemic hit and everyone was remote and we were providing remote services, there was this kind of rupture in the connectivity. And so as we started to come back, it really caused the center to really kind of go back to its origin and to really think about how do we engage community and how do we meet community where they're at. And so we have really been intentional about, yes, obviously the building is beautiful. If you've ever been here, it's a beautiful building.
Yeah, it is.
But the center also is about going out and being in community with other people and understanding that we have to have presence across the city. And I think that's been a bit of a shock to the system for some staff who've been here for a while. But I really feel like it really sends a message to people that we care enough and we want to be in dialogue and in community with you, that we will come to you and you come to us and we'll figure out what the cadence is going to look like for whoever that person is. Because I think that the center is such a unique organization that your experience with us is basically how you engage with us. So if your initial step is coming for an HIV test, well, then that's going to be your experience of the center. If your experience is coming for a group that rents a room here, then that's going to be your experience for being at the center. And so I think we have to kind of really be intentional and think about that all the time. And so I'm doing a lot of running around, but I love it. So
this is the building that has the bathroom painted with like Keith Haring stuff,
Keith
right?
Haring bathroom,
That was a great poop. I gotta tell you, that was a fun poop just to sit in that bathroom and look at the ceiling. It's beautiful. Yeah,
it's no longer a bathroom, but yes.
Yeah.
Too bad.
It's obviously an homage to Keith Haring, and it's used as a meeting room, but the urinal stall things are still there. But
they are. The urinals are still there.
The
piping.
The piping, you can see it. So.
To just keep connected to history. And so I imagine that when you talk about going out to the community and whatnot, does that mean that the center will go out and sponsor pop-up events outside so that it's not... Okay.
Yeah. So we, recently we're in conversation with a city council member that represents Forest Hills. Her perspective is a queer woman who believes that there's just not enough out there, and really turning to the center to look for what we can do with her office and with the community out there. And so one of the things we're talking about is to bringing center families, which is the family fun day that we do here, to have it go out there and really kind of attract families out in Forest Hills in the Regal Park area. So
awesome. Which needs to happen. I mean, in my experience, they're doing what was it called? Play together.
Kidding around.
Kidding around. Thank you.
Yes.
Kidding around. It was definitely a fancy event once a month that was really fun and catering to a very gay sensibility. It gave very much a gay West Side Chelsea West Village sensibility, which was fancy but also felt a little performative. Like I was intimidated. I thought I got to dress up for this because man, there is going to be some eye candy and these
Gavin, did you put on your fancy Crocs?
Oh my God, absolutely. And I mean, with the fancy socks to go under the fancy Crocs to impress.
Wow.
I mean, it was there was some good cruising that could be had on a Saturday morning. But I would imagine also, hey, that is it's time to move on beyond being absurdly fancy and catering to those kinds of families, because they aren't the families that need representation or community, I would imagine.
Yeah. No, I think it's sometimes it can be wonderful, and it can be very inviting, that kind of fancy, air, but it also sends a message to some people that it's not for them. And we want to be really intentional about it. So when we kind of stopped kidding around because of the pandemic 3 years later, we decided to bring it back. But I really was, talking to where it used to live in our development department as well. So that, again, sends a message to people. And so we moved it over
Which
to the
means
program.
the message being, this is about making money, right?
It's about making money, yes.
It's a fundraiser,
Yes, exactly.
Which is not supporting communities or supporting families.
Exactly.
Necessarily.
So we moved it to the program portfolio, and I really set about working with the teams to think about what could this be, and how do we hit it in the right way and strike the right tone where it can be something for more people than just this particular subset. And so we renamed it Center Families. We really promote it as a free play day, and it's more interactive. We try to do we do bring in drag story hour. We bring in little dance companies.
How dare you indoctrinate those poor children with us?
You and your gay agenda.
Yes, our gay agenda. Keeping the children quiet for 30 minutes. So, we try to do very, right now we're planning for the rest of the year. We take a break in July and August. And so we're going to start in September, and it's Latina History Month. And so we're going to bring in a Mexican dance group that's going to teach the children to dance. We're going to do something for Black History Month. And so we're trying to bring things in that are reflective of the communities that we really want to amplify and we want to engage, but in a way that really invites everybody in. So I think that's the thing that we really want to send the message home. And then we're going to do the fancy things too, because we got to have a fabulous Halloween party. We got to have a fabulous Christmas party. So.
I mean, fabulosity is a spirit and a vibe. It doesn't have to be about money, obviously. Yes. So bring it.
Will there be projectile vomit at your Christmas party at the center?
I hope not, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, surely there's been an awful lot of projectile pooping and vomiting that has had to be picked up there.
Yes. I've taken my kids to the Center Families events, and I'm just like, please don't fight with anybody.
I have to tell my kid, I have to tell my son to please stop peeing in public. Like, please stop just pulling your penis out and just peeing in the front lawn.
My God!
That would be my kid if that ever happened.
Yeah, mine are similar. They're like, Papa, my penis, it's so soft. I'm like, please don't do that in public.
Please
and yet at the same time, visibility and representation, like it's a body part.
But Gavin, we don't want the visibility of our children's penises at public. That's the one thing we don't want visibility on.
All right, yes. That's true. I mean, so I would imagine you have witnessed an awful lot of parenting styles in your role at the center. I mean, please tell us, what are the lessons you have learned of how not to parent in observations you've made?
I think that it's watching the parents interact is different than watching the children interact. So,
because we're the worst.
Yeah, well, children 100%. Organize
gay, straight, or otherwise, parents just suck.
Yeah. Yes. So, like, I think, like, what I often see is like parents are kind of like hovering over their children in a way that, like, the kids just want to run and be free and throw goldfish at each other and and tumble. And I notice how, like, and I see this all the time even with my kids, how, like, you'd send them to the playground and they just organize themselves, right? They know what they're doing. And I think what ends up happening is that, like, one parent thinks that their kid is being a little extra, and then they try to kind of get involved. And sometimes we try to, like, gently say, it's okay, we'll let the kids play. We're plenty of staff are here. We will make sure everyone is okay. So I think that what we're trying to do is, like, figure out activities where we can kind of, like, maybe put the parents aside and let the kids play.
Because some of that, as we talked about a couple episodes ago, is like there's this performative discipline, right? Like they're disciplining their kids performatively for the other parents and for you. And you kind of need to be like, parents, you go on that side of the wall. We're gonna stay over on this side of the wall, and the kids can throw water balloons at each other.
Yes. But they have and I will say that they like to, I mean, what we have actually done this time is that we take in the feedback from our parents as well. So it's important to know what they think and what's important. But sometimes it's a little over the top. I'm just like, all right. So I think one time I had a parent who was telling me, well, if I had known you were going to have this activity, I would not have, like, given up dance class for my child. And I was like, okay. I'm so sorry. So, what do you think would make it better? So
it's the ultimate equality, is that gays can be terrible, annoying parents too.
Yes, exactly.
No.
It's just all fair game.
And when you have your kids at events, do you refrain from being performatively helicoptery? Like you think, oh my God, my kids need to be model kids.
No, not at all. I will let my kids run free as long as no one's been hurt, no one's been killed, everyone is good. So
there is a weird trepidation you feel when I'm gonna let my kids figure it out, and they're around other kids. You see them starting to get into some conflict, and you're like, I really want to step in, but I'm just gonna let it happen and see, because they got to learn all that stuff. They got to form their own little social contracts. But it is kind of terrifying to watch your kid be like, I know he's gonna slap her in the face. I know he's gonna do it. I can feel it coming, and they've just got to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I really try to do when I'm at the Center Families with my kids is that they will, like, we have snacks and, like, juice and, like, and they just will want everything. And I really they're very hyper kids. So, like, I try to restrict the sugar a lot. So, like, okay, you get one juice box for the day. That's it. That's your sugar content. You either have juice box or you have ice cream, but not both. And they will conspire against me. I'll turn away and they're like, quickly, go get it.
Oh, of course. Of course.
They call it a distraction.
Yes,
they call it a bomb threat, and then they run in. Yeah, no.
Yes, exactly. They have had people said that they will tell each other, don't listen to what Papa said, just go do it. So I'm just like,
man. You are outnumbered with twins, and at 6 years old, they are pushing their envelopes without a doubt. So, Drag Queen Story Hour, has that been at all controversial for you all at the center, or are you free of controversy because you're at the center and it's all good? Bring all the drag queens to read all the books they can.
It actually has been, we had one kind of large event that wasn't tied to Center Families, but it was the Attorney General had this kind of drag story marathon. And that was a very public, it was in the news media, and there was a lot of every person you think would come out and protest came to protest, but we had a lot of people who were counter, but they would bring out these parasols and kind of cover the families so that they couldn't see all this stuff.
That was creative response for sure.
So we had that one incident, and I think it was some Proud Boys showed up, and wow. But it was just one. I think there were two folks got arrested, but nothing major happened. But outside of that, my approach or my perspective is that this is an LGBTQ space, and if you throw your ass out in here, it's a hate crime. Mm-hmm. So not only do you commit a crime, but you commit a hate crime. So think twice about what you're going to do here.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my perspective on that particular event. So I was worried, but not too worried, because I was there's plenty of people here. We'll be okay. For center families, when they come, nothing. Because there's no news media, because there's no, no pomp and circumstance. We just have it as part of the day. We don't have any issues with it. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know why I'm obsessed with it. I've talked about it so many times in this podcast. Something about people being against drag queen story outer. It just kind of blows my fucking mind. And I said a couple weeks ago, I went to my first with my kid. I had been obviously very supportive, but I went to my first, and you know what it was? It was a drag queen reading a book to kids. That's all. They were like, hey, there was a story about puppies. Who has puppies here? And kids would raise their hand and be like, she'd be great. Yeah. And I was just like, what are we fucking freaking out about?
Yeah.
Wait, but I think since you're one of the bosses of the gays, I want to ask you a favor on a question. And this may be controversial, everyone, I'm sorry. I think we have too many letters. Can we be more inclusive by saying one word for our community? I don't know what the word is. Is it bagels? Something where it's represent LGBTQI+. I'm totally fine with that, but it's hard to say. Can we rebrand ourselves? Is my question.
And also, it gets in the way because the people who don't understand and choose not to understand are like, it's just too many letters. I just don't know what to do, and it's not that hard. It's not.
But that's me. But that's me. Gavin's making fun of me. But no. I feel like the more letters we add to be more inclusive, the more exclusive we be. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm wondering, maybe it's the queer community, the bagel community, like I suggested. I'm pro bagel. I don't know. I just feel like, is there a way we can rebrand ourselves to be one thing?
I think that I often default to the queer, trans, and gender expansive community. That's how I refer to it. I also do think that we must always amplify and name our trans siblings because of especially everything that's happening right now. So that should never not be part of the alphabet of however we refer to it. But it's a generational thing too, because we often will have donor briefings or we have planned giving events, and inevitably the question comes up from an older gay man that how dare we use the word queer? It's offensive, but I think many people really have embraced that queer as kind of a pan term to really encompass everybody.
Because it means different things in different time periods. Yeah, queer for sure when I was in middle school was a slur.
Yeah.
Smear the queer.
Yeah.
Smear the queer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think I often tell folks, use what you're comfortable with. Honestly, because all of these, in essence, are buckets we're put in. So, and often, it's from the exterior society that's putting us in those buckets. So, I'm not going to fight someone over a term that may mean something to one person, something to another person. So, I often encourage people, use what you're comfortable with.
Although I will say, I do appreciate the I think people think it's a slur, but the alphabet mafia. I'm like, we're the mafia. Come for us. Come for us.
So I would imagine that in your experience doing executive management of nonprofits, surely the center is the most fabulous place you've worked.
It is, actually.
Yeah, I should hope so. What's the essence of the fabulosity of working at the center?
I will say that prior to coming to the center, I worked at a Latina multi-service agency in Connecticut, and that really brought to me, it's the identity-based work, honestly, that makes it changes the dynamics altogether. And so, working in a Latino organization, it really changed how I viewed the how I approach the work. And then coming to here, being able to be a queer, brown, immigrant man who is doing the work, you are just your entire authentic self here. And so it's like you never have to think, oh, should I say that or should I not say that? Or should I hide this piece of me, or do I code switch? And so it's like this freeing dynamic that you just, in the 20 plus years I've been working, I've just never really had that till now.
That's fantastic.
Mine's the drive-through of a Taco Bell. That's where I feel the most me. Do you know what I mean? just a little bit ashamed, very hungry, very excited. Yep.
But very, very excited. Yep. Well, Daniel, is there a story that you can leave us with here of just parenting trauma for yourself? Of like, oh my gosh, that was a moment that I will never forget. Even when I'm old and in my own diapers, I will never forget that parenting moment that's forever traumatized me, but made me love my role as
Papa. We go from diapers to diapers.
Yes.
Let's see. I think most recently, so I just came back from Chicago. I took my kids on a trip. This is the first time they'd ever been on a plane. So I was very nervous about that, but it was fine. But I think that I found the depths of my patience on that trip because I took the kids to yes, I was
love that. I so understand what you mean. The depths of my patience.
So I had taken the kids. I had gone on the trip with the kids and one of the moms, and we went to in Pilsen, which is the Mexican neighborhood. They have the Mexican Museum of Fine Art. So we went there, and it was raining. I saw the weather. I was like, oh, it should be okay, So we drove out there, and on the way back, all of a sudden, this torrential rain. The streets started to flood, and all the streets were closing. I couldn't figure out a way to get home to the hotel, and the kids are fighting, they're screaming. Oh. The mom is getting nervous. She's trying to get them to be quiet. They're not being quiet. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, all of this is happening. And I'm like, I just need the car to not shut off. I needed to not get caught in the water. So, it was so stressful. And so, and then I was like, all right, mijos, I need you to please be quiet and play with your toys. And they'll be like, okay, Papa.
And they could tell
the tone of your voice. They recognize the tone.
But then a minute later, back to screaming and fighting and everything. And I'm like, okay, again, mijos, please be quiet. And then the mother's she's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I was like, okay, I need you to let's all just calm down. Let's all calm down. I will get us home. I've driven in blizzards. I grew up in the Midwest. I know how to do this. So... but I think that 3 hours in the car, which should have been a 20-minute drive,
that is awful.
Was insane.
That is truly awful.
To be able to keep everyone calm and to make sure everyone got home safe, and that I didn't threaten timeouts or pull over and say I'm going to pull over. You know? So,
good for you. You just flowed with it.
I flowed with it, and I'm not normally that kind of person. So I'm just all right.
You didn't reach your hand in the back seat, just swatting at whatever you can get.
I know. I tried very hard. I was like, okay, I've got to stay calm for everybody because everyone was having a meltdown. So,
well, talk about executive management skills right there. It's just staying cool as a cucumber. Well,
yes.
Daniel, thank you for all you are doing for the entire queer community in New York City, outside of New York City, and for the Gaytriarchs community as well. Thanks for demeaning yourself and spending time with us on our stupid little podcast. Thank you.
I appreciate the invitation.
So my something great is today's August 9th, and this is the birthday month for my son and also my husband. So I'm very glad both of those people were born. And so happy birthday, Emmett, and happy birthday, Brian. I love you.
Oh, happy birthday, Emmett and Brian. So my something great is just frankly being a family unit again, because my partner has been doing so much traveling, and he has been home actually doing an awful lot of work here, but he plays the piano. He's a conductor, an orchestrator, and a composer, and he gets to sit at the piano. His favorite thing to do in the entire world is just to sit at the piano and play. And even if I don't necessarily like what he's playing, it is so fantastic to just hear a live piano being played. Yeah. So I'm going to go along. I'm going to I'm going to double up on your schmaltziness and say it's pretty great to have a talented partner who likes to play the piano lots and lots. And I love hearing it in the background. And with that syrupy, saccharine
too sweet.
bit of
this
beauty,
episode was too sweet.
Everybody just go do something naughty, because that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at gatriarchspodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at gatriarchspodcast on the internet. David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Thread.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, and sign up for our newsletter. We promise to make you giggle. It is in our link on Instagram.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Gatriarchs.